morning, everybody. Trevor here with Life-Based Solutions, putting on my fitness hat today. On these Fridays, we dive into fitness and just dabble in nutrition a little bit. We're going to have a fun workout for today, some things that everybody can try at home, regardless of fitness level. For those of you that are brand new to our Fitness Fridays or are not familiar with me, my name is Trevor Brown. I am the head of business development for Life-Based Solutions. We are a nutrition software company that helps other businesses grow and scale nutrition programs. However, I've also been a gym owner for nearly 15 years. I'm almost 40 and I've been into fitness and nutrition for my entire life. So if you want to get a hold of me, if you have questions, anything fitness related or nutrition related, you can drop me an email at trevor@lifebasedsolutions.com, or you can always comment on this post or even check out our website at lifebasedsolutions.com. So today, we got something fun here in Nebraska. We're about ready to have beautiful weather this weekend. It's 73 degrees and sunny today. It's been kind of windy, chilly. We've had tornadoes the last few weeks. And tomorrow's supposed to be 77 degrees and sunny. So we're encouraging everybody to kind of get outside and do something. So with that in mind, we are going to do a version of a workout that you could do outside, right? Get outside and move a little bit. I just want to make sure that everybody has options for this. So regardless of fitness level, age, experience, you could all do this. So if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen, grab it. You can always pause this video if you're watching it on replay, but we're going to break down some of these movements and give you some simple, cool stuff to do this weekend to get up, get active, and get moving. So there will be 6 movements, and we're going to do this for 3 rounds, right? And so the way to make this more challenging would be very simply to increase the load or the weight in which you use for each one of these movements, or to increase the speed at which you do them. As long as form is good, you're going through a full range of motion and you're getting the right feel for each exercise, right? So for some of you, this might seem crazy hard, even with just your body weight. For others, might seem like not enough of a challenge. Just remember, you can always add weight to these things. So let's start our first movement, and we're going to do each of these 4 sets of 10 repetitions. If you want to make it harder, up it to 15 reps or 20 repetitions. We're going to program this as a set of 10 for each one of these movements, and we're going to go through it 3 times or for 3 rounds, right? The idea being we don't really take rests between. So our first movement, we have reviewed a lot on this. This is the air squat. So very simply, from the side here, if I can make room for myself, we're going to squat, initiating that squat, butt back, knees out, hands in the air, and we're just going to squat below parallel. Super simple. When I say below parallel, that means my hip crease gets below the top of my knee, right? So how do you scale this back, Trev? Body weight squats are kind of hard for me. Well, we can do these in a chair. So as you can see, I'm just sitting in my chair here. I might sit back and stand up. Something as super simple as that. So maybe not quite that full range of motion, but it also helps with my balance, gives me a little bit of a target to aim for if I'm newer to these squats. You can also be hanging on to something. I could have my hands on the desk and using a chair, and I kind of use the desk to pull myself up, right? So we want to try to get through as much of a full range of motion as possible, right? Think about it. We can't really sit on the couch or even sit on the toilet without squatting to parallel. So I think you can do it, just a matter of how quickly and what kind of load you're using. So if you want to make this harder, either increase the reps or hang on to a heavy weight, or you could put a barbell on your back. You have access to a barbell. We're going to do sets of 10. So 10 squats. All right, our next movement, we're going to do push-ups. We're going to give you 3 variations of a push-up. The first one will be, of course, your regular push-up on the ground, going through a full range of motion. We want to touch the chest and maintain a perfect plank with our body. I'm assuming that if you are going to do them that way, you're pretty familiar with push-ups and know what you're doing. So what are some scaling options? Well, check this out. We can do push-ups on our knees. So from here, push-ups are on the knees. And I'm going to touch my chest and press back. My elbows are in here, not out to the sides, right? Imagine trying to lift something overhead. You do it in here, not arms out here. That would be awkward. So kind of that same range of motion. Elbows back a little bit as we do this. Always making sure to keep a nice tight core, never leaning back or arching back. So push-ups on the knees. Well, Trev, that's still a little bit too hard. What's another option? Don't worry, I got you guys. I'm at my desk here, right? I can put my hands on the desk and I can simply lean forward, touch my chest, and press. Now to make these easier, I just walk my feet up. I put my hands up on the wall and I can do wall push-ups. So we are going to do push-ups. Now you want to make these things harder. Use dumbbells, right? Use a barbell. Make them more challenging that way. Okay, our next movement that we're going to do is walking lunges, all right? So very simply, we're going to step forward, and when we do this, right, we're going to touch our back knee on the ground. Our front knee is right over our heels, chest up big. We drive off of that front leg, right, and we stand. So lunges are pretty simple. We're going to walk forward, stand up. You can do these in place. We're going to step back and step forward, right? If those are too hard, a very simple way to scale these back would be to use like a table, right? I'm going to touch my knee, but then I'm going to use the table, my arm, to kind of help me stand up. Or if you have a small target, you could walk up and down the stairs to make that just a little bit easier on yourself as well, right? So we can do lunges. You can add dumbbells. You could put a barbell on your back. You could wear a heavy backpack, something along those lines if you want to make these things harder. Okay, next we are going to do rows. Now for this, you will need a weight. So if you don't have a weight, you kind of skip it, but you can really put your hand on anything. If you have a weight bench at home, you've got one arm on that weight bench, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to have our dumbbell in our other hand, and we're just going to pull and row with that dumbbell. Or you could have your hand up on a table or a desk, and we're just going to row and pull, almost like you're starting a lawnmower, right? So you could use whatever weights you want. You could use a milk jug. You could use a dumbbell. You could use, again, an odd object, like maybe a kettlebell or a backpack or something along those lines. Okay, then we're going to do a plank. Planks may be done on the hands, on the forearms. Plates may be done as well. Yes, and so I comment here, you can absolutely use like a resistance band for those rows. You would just want to either stand on the band or maybe wrap it around something heavy on the ground so it has room to move, right? But planks will be our next movement. We can do these on the hands. We can do these on the forearms. We're going to do a plank for 1 minute per round to make them a little bit easier. Do them on your knees as well, right? And just make sure we keep the core engaged as we go through this. Okay, then the final one. This would be something a little bit different. We're going to do 1 minute of some sort of cardio, right? So we could be doing in place jumping jacks, right? We could walk, we could sprint, we could get on a bike, we could jump rope. We could do a lot of different things, right? So even if it means walking, walk 30 seconds in one direction, 30 seconds back in the other direction. All right, so let's bring this full circle. We've got 3 rounds, 10 repetitions of each movement, and we are going to do squats in some variation. We are going to do push-ups. We are going to do lunges, 5 on each leg. We are going to do rows, a plank, and we're going to finish with cardio. The plank and the cardio piece are 1 minute each. So you can go through that 3 times without really taking rest unless you need it. So to make this more challenging, up it to 15 or 20 reps. Or maybe you do 5 rounds. Or maybe you add weight, hang on to dumbbells, a kettlebell, an odd object, a barbell. So you guys have an idea. That is your workout for this weekend. I will see everybody next week.